ever get that feeling, that like history isn't just names and dates and things like that, but there's actually like a pattern repeating.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we're diving into today.
Right.
Why societies, they rise, they fall, and how one scientist named Peter Turchin uses data to like predict these very patterns.
Yeah, it's a fascinating field, really. It's called Cliodynamics, and it's all about,
Okay.
instead of predicting like when an earthquake's going to hit, it's like what are the conditions, that make a fault line likely to just kind of go.
Right.
And Turchin's applying that to, believe it or not, societies.
Wow.
He's uncovering these like recurring trends, pressure points that make unrest, upheaval more likely.
So not a crystal ball, but like understanding the stress points.
Yeah, exactly.
The cracks in the foundation.
And his work is really interesting. It suggests that there are like two big red flags that you got to watch out for.
Okay.
One, you got a ton of elites, right? Way too many. And they're all clamoring for just a tiny bit of power at the top.
Right.
And the other thing is, when everybody else, their well-being, starts to go downhill, those two things together.
Not good.
Recipe for disaster.
So it's like a room at the top.
Yes.
And it's packed, shoulder to shoulder.
Elbow to elbow.
With these elites, they're all fighting for the same...
Scraps.
That's Turchin's elite overproduction, right?
Right.
And then you couple that with, the rest of society, the vast majority.
Yeah, and they're hurting.
They're hurting. They feel ignored.
Like the system is not working.
Yeah, like, hey, what about us?
Right.
And that's when those at the top, they start to sweat.
Yeah.
Because, and I love this quote, one billionaire said it best, the pitchforks are coming.
Ooh, that's ominous.
Yeah, right. Especially coming from somebody in that billionaire class.
Right.
It really speaks to how, deep-seated this pattern is.
Throughout history, yeah.
And we're talking more than just like a difference in, bank accounts here.
Right.
This isn't just a wealth gap, right? This is like systems that funnel resources up, always up.
Yeah, like a pump constantly goes.
That's Turchin's term, right? The wealth pump.
Wealth pump, yeah.
And it's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
Oh, tell me about it.
Because it's more elite infighting, right?
Yes.
And it's more discontent.
Absolutely.
For everyone else.
And, history's just got so many examples of this pressure cooker just blowing the lid off.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. And one of the wildest ones that Turchin talks about, the Taiping Rebellion.
Oh, yeah. 19th century China.
19th century China. Millions dead.
Millions?
And think about this. Part of what sparked it, frustrated exam candidates.
Really?
Yeah. So back then, in imperial China, passing these brutal exams, I'm talking brutal.
Right.
It was the only way to climb the ladder.
It makes something of yourself.
Yeah, join the elite. But here's the thing. Limited government positions.
Oh, so it's like musical chairs.
Exactly. So you have all these like brilliant but now completely disillusioned young men
who are like, I did everything right and I got nowhere.
The system's broken.
It's rigged.
Rigged. And you know what happens? One of these guys, Hong Ziquan, gets it in his head that he's Jesus's younger brother.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, destined to create a new kingdom, a heavenly kingdom on earth.
It's like something out of
it's wild.
A movie or something.
And that's how the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom kicks off. And with it, one of the deadliest conflicts ever.
Wow. Talk about a career pivot. Right.
Yeah.
But it really highlights what you're saying.
Yeah.
Too many elites, not enough spots at the top, sprinkle in some unrest.
Oh, yeah.
And boom.
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
And what's so fascinating is this isn't just ancient history, right? Turchin sees this happening.
Oh, yeah.
In the U.S. today.
Yeah, absolutely. And it might surprise some people, but he's looking at, of all things, law school graduates.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Because we're churning out lawyers.
We're churning them out.
Faster than they can get jobs, it seems like.
Way faster. And it's a classic case, You got more people all fighting for a smaller slice of the pie.
Right.
And what happens? Intense competition.
Yeah.
Salaries go down. Disillusionment. I mean, come on.
It's like a recipe for,
It's brewing right here, right now.
Wow.
Elite overproduction in action.
Wow. Okay. And it's it's got to be more than just like how many people are trying to get those top spots right.
Right.
It's how that pressure
the environment
changes the elites themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Like when you've got that level of just clawing and competition, it breeds this, well, it can breed infighting.
Right, because it's like every man for himself.
Oh, yeah, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
You get corruption, you get this focus on the short term.
Right. Just gotta
get mine right now.
Yeah.
And the stability of the whole system, it's almost like they forget about that.
Yeah, it's like they're so busy looking up.
Yeah, focused on
that they don't see
the bigger picture.
The cracks forming.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And that brings us to,
the other half of the
the other side of that coin.
Turchin's
equation.
Yeah, equation.
Which is, well, it's the well-being, or really the lack of well-being for everyone else.
And he calls this popular immiseration.
Yeah, popular immiseration. And it's heavier than just, economic hardship.
Right. It's like a feeling.
It's a feeling, yeah, like a sense of decline.
Like things are
they're getting worse.
And they're going to keep...
Yeah, and that the system itself...
is rigged.
Like it's not even trying to help. And, one of the, I think, starkest examples of this that really gets me is what they call deaths of despair.
Oh, yeah, in the U.S., right?
Yeah, right here. And it's about mortality rates.
But for specific groups.
Yes, exactly. And this is what's so troubling.
Yeah, because you think, okay, mortality rates, but...
Right, you think big picture, but
we're
talking about middle-aged, white, working-class Americans.
Okay.
And they're dying.
At increasing rates, yeah.
At increasing rates, and it's not, some mystery disease.
Right, it's
suicide, alcoholism,
drug overdoses, things that are like preventable.
Yeah, preventable, and often tied to, that sense of hopelessness.
Right, it's like a loss of...
meaning, purpose.
Yeah.
And think about this, their life expectancy.
It's declining.
Yeah. Which, that's almost unheard of.
Right, in a developed nation.
Right, you think we're, moving forward.
Getting healthier.
But here, it's like...
Not for everyone.
Yeah, it's a sign.
Like a canary in a coal mine.
Exactly. Societal breakdown happening right in front of us.
And it really connects these dots, right? That it's not just...
It's all connected.
Economics, it's the social fabric, too.
The social fabric, mental health, and it's like when a big chunk of the population, they're hurting like that.
Yeah.
That's a tinderbox.
Waiting for a spark.
Just waiting for that spark. And, that brings us back to how these two forces, the elite overproduction, the popular immiseration,
work together.
Yeah, how they work
to like really push a society to the edge,
to the brink. Yeah, and Turchin, he has this image, right? And it's kind of disturbing, but it's effective.
What's that?
The wealth pump.
Oh, right.
And it's this idea that
instead of benefiting everyone,
right, you'd think
the economy is just designed in a way
that it funnels everything up
to the people who already have,
to the very, very top, way more than their fair share.
Yeah, and it makes both problems worse, right?
Oh, because you have more
pure people,
elites, right,
fighting for a smaller piece,
scrambling, exactly,
over less and less.
Yeah, and at the same time, everyone else
is like, wait a minute,
where's mine? This isn't right.
I'm getting squeezed.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
It's like a recipe for disaster, right?
Yeah.
And it's easy to look at this and be like, well, we're doomed.
Right.
Like, what's the point?
Like, it's just going to happen again and again.
Right, but history's not like predetermined, right?
That's the thing. That's the hope, right? It's not deterministic. It's not like we're just, puppet societies. They can adapt. They can
change. Yeah.
They can change. They can find ways to swerve out of the way of that train.
Right. So it's not about like predicting.
No.
Instead of saying this is going to happen.
It's about knowing the warning signs.
Right, and that we can do something.
Exactly. It's about understanding what makes a society fragile.
Yeah. So let's get into some specific examples.
Okay.
Because Turchin has this, I think it's really interesting. He compares 3 different...
Yeah, he loves this example.
Post-Soviet states.
Yeah.
So we're talking Russia, Ukraine, Belarus.
Right, because they all
start from
similar starting points.
The same place.
Collapsing empire, boom.
Right. So what happened?
Well, they took very, very different paths.
Okay.
Even though they had so much, shared history.
Right. Similar cultures.
Cultures, yeah. You got Russia under Putin.
Right.
And they went the authoritarian stability route.
Okay.
Top down.
So they just kind of crushed any dissent.
This is how it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very top down.
So they solved the elite overproduction.
In a way.
They're just saying, no, there's only one elite.
One elite, and that's me.
Right.
And, it's very different from...
What happened in Ukraine?
Oh, yeah. Ukraine went...
Complete opposite.
Polar opposite.
Right.
They ended up with a system where a tiny handful of super ultra-wealthy oligarchs.
Right.
They basically took control of everything.
The economy.
The economy, the politics,
yeah.
Everything.
It's like textbook.
Oh, yeah, plutocracy.
And we know those are not
known for their stability.
Yeah, very shaky.
Yeah, and what do you get? You get competing factions.
Of the oligarchs, yeah.
Of the oligarchs, all vying for power.
Right.
You get corruption like you wouldn't believe.
And a government that's basically...
showing what we say.
Dance. Puppets. Dance. Yeah, so it's no wonder they've had...
revolution after revolution.
Multiple. I mean, it's constantly unstable.
Right, and then you've got Belarus.
Belarus, the odd one out.
A weird one, right.
Because they also ended up with a strongman?
Lukashenko, right?
Lukashenko, right?
Yeah, he did not let those oligarchs
get their hooks in.
No, he said, nope, this is my sandbox.
You are not playing here.
You guys are out. He kept a much tighter grip.
On the economy?
Everything.
Yeah. So he kind of
steered it.
Prevented that extreme wealth disparity.
That just ripped Ukraine apart.
Right.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So two different flavors of...
authoritarianism,
yeah.
But they dealt with these problems.
Totally differently.
Very, very differently.
But it just goes to show, or it seems to suggest, that how the power is structured.
The structure of power.
Yeah, it really does impact.
It's crucial.
How stable a place is.
It's a huge factor.
So what about us? What about the U.S.?
Yes.
Where do we fit into all of this?
Well, Turchin argues that even the U.S., as exceptional as we like to think we are,
right.
We've gone through these cycles, too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And he points to the Civil War.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As a prime example, right? You've got rapid population growth.
Mm-hmm.
You've got increasing wealth inequality.
North and South.
The gulf between North and South is just getting wider and wider.
Ideologically, too.
Ideologically, everything, and it's a powder keg.
Yeah, and it exploded.
It exploded.
Right. So we know that.
But here's the thing.
We made it through that.
We did. We rebuilt.
We adapted.
We adapted. We became a different nation.
At least for a time.
Right, for a while.
Right. But Turchin sees some echoes of that.
Yeah, some rhymes.
In the 1920s.
The Roaring '20s. Oh, yeah.
Because you've got the rise of industry.
Massive industry.
Lots of immigration.
Immigration, yeah. People coming from all over.
And that leads to unrest, right?
Labor unrest. You get all these ingredients.
And that's like all those same ingredients. And here we are, right? Like we made it through that, but can we do it again?
Well, that's the question.
Because it seems like if Turchin's onto something,
yeah,
and these patterns hold,
yeah, if these patterns hold,
we're kind of in a dicey spot right now.
We're definitely in a precarious moment. Let's say that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I think this is crucial.
Okay.
Understanding all of this, these trends, these pressures.
Yeah.
It's not about throwing in the towel, right?
Right. Like we said, it's not fate.
It's not fate, exactly.
It's not predetermined.
It's about recognizing that we're not just along for the ride,
We have agency?
We have agency, our choices.
We can make a difference.
They matter big time.
Okay, so it's not about just like waiting for the
roof to cave in.
For the pitchforks, right.
Yeah.
It's about can we
build something
better.
More resilient, more stable, more, dare I say, fair.
Equitable, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but how? I mean, it's such a...
That's a big question.
Big, huge question. Like, where do we even start?
Yeah. Well, Turchin points to, a few key things.
Yeah.
And number one, you got to address the inequality.
Right, which is It's huge.
It's massive.
And it's not just like, oh, let's just redistribute some income, right?
Right. That's a start, maybe.
That's a start.
But it's got to be deeper.
It's the systems.
The systems, the structures that are creating,
baked in, yeah.
that are baked in, that are making it
harder for some, easier for others.
Yeah, it's not a level playing field right now.
So that's, okay, so things like...
No, I mean, you're talking...
Campaign finance.
Campaign finance. Huge one.
How about monopolies?
Oh, yeah. Break them up.
Break up these companies that are just...
Too much power.
Too big. Yeah. What about...
Education.
Healthcare?
Yeah.
Housing? Yeah. Affordable housing?
Yeah.
People can't even afford to...
live, right?
To live where they work.
Right. So it's like it's giving...
It's leveling that playing field, like you said.
Giving people a chance, right.
A real shot. Yeah, not just like, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Come on, with those bootstraps.
When the whole system is
stacked against you.
Rigged, yeah.
So, yeah, it's about creating a system
where everyone benefits.
That works for everyone, not just the lucky few.
Right. Okay, so that's a huge one.
It's a big one.
What about the elite overproduction thing?
Oh, yeah, because we can't just,
stop going to law school.
Stop going to law school, everybody. Right.
Right, we can't do that.
I mean, some people, that's their passion, right?
Right.
But it's about, I think, broadening what we consider success.
Oh, okay. I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just about, did you get that fancy degree?
Right, that 4-year degree.
It's a 4-year degree, the corner office.
It's trade schools.
Trade schools, vocational training.
Apprenticeships, yeah.
Apprenticeships, starting your own business, being an entrepreneur.
Right, creating something
new.
Yeah.
There are so many ways.
So many ways to be successful.
To be successful, to contribute.
And to have a good life.
And to have a good life, right.
Okay.
It's about valuing
all different skills.
All those different skills, those different paths.
Right.
Because right now it's like we're kind of stuck
in a rut.
Yeah, with this one very narrow definition.
And we need to value those people.
We do.
Those essential workers.
Absolutely. The people that keep things running.
Right.
The people who are,
who are fixing things, building things.
Creating things. Yeah. That's what keeps a society
going healthy, yeah.
Healthy and thriving.
Okay, so we got to tackle inequality. We've got to broaden this idea of success.
Yeah, and alongside all of that, there's one more thing.
Okay.
And this one's tough, especially now.
What's that?
It's social cohesion.
Oh boy, that's a big one.
It's a big one, especially when you've got...
Well, everyone's just at each other's throats.
Yeah, I mean, it's hyper-partisanship.
It's like everything is a battle.
Constant division.
Us versus them.
Yeah, and it's about how do we find a way
to come together.
To bridge those divides.
Right, when it seems impossible.
It seems impossible, but we have to.
Right. Because if we don't...
Because a society that's constantly at war with itself...
Yeah, it can't survive.
It can't survive. It can't thrive.
It eats itself.
It eats itself from the inside out.
Yeah. So how do we do that?
Well, it's about, I think it starts with remembering that we're all in this together.
I mean, that sounds so cheesy, but
I know it sounds so simplistic.
But it's true.
But it's true though, isn't it?
Right.
We're all sharing this planet. We're all facing these challenges.
Climate change.
I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
These are collective problems.
They don't care if you're Democrat or Republican.
Right. They don't discriminate.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's about finding that
common ground,
yeah, and rebuilding those connections.
Because they've been frayed, they've been stretched.
And it starts small, right?
I think so, yeah.
It starts with like your community,
your neighbors,
getting involved in things that
that matter to
support local businesses.
Yes, things like that,
yeah.
and having those hard conversations.
But I don't like those.
I know they're uncomfortable.
But we have to, right?
We do. We have to be willing to listen.
Really listen.
Not just waiting to respond, but actually
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe find some common ground.
Because if we don't, then who will?
Exactly. And it's like you said,
it's not just about the big policies.
Yeah, top-down stuff.
It's about Like, what are we doing
On the ground.
in our own lives
In our own backyards.
to be better, to make things better?
To build those connections, because ultimately, I think that's how change happens.
It's that collective action.
It's from the bottom up. It's people coming together saying,
We want better.
we want better, we deserve better, and we're going to build it together.
And that's an inspiring thought, but it's also, it's really hard.
It is hard. There's no easy answers here.
Right. And it's scary.
It is scary.
Because it's like, if we don't do this, it's not like, oh, well, we'll try again next time.
This is it.
This might be it.
This might be our shot.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, but that's the beauty of it too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we have the power.
We have a choice.
We have a choice. We have agency, and we can choose to
Go down fighting.
or go down building something better.
Building a better future.
A more just, a more equitable, a more hopeful future.
Yeah, and that's something worth fighting for.
I think so. I think that's something worth believing in.
Absolutely. Well, we hope this deep dive, it's given you some things to think about.
Yeah, some food for thought.
For sure. Some new ways to look at the world.
New lenses.
Yeah, new lenses, because it can feel really overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely.
But like you've been saying, we do have the power.
We have the power
to change things.
to shape our own destiny.
To shape our future.
And that's exciting, and it's terrifying, but mostly it's empowering.
It's empowering, yeah. And we may not have all the answers.
No, but
just by talking about this.
by having these conversations.
Being aware, by
being aware of what's going on.
Right, that's the first step.
That's step one, awareness. Then
we can take action.
Then we can start making those changes.
Exactly. So thank you for taking this deep dive with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
We hope that you learned something new.
Yeah.
And most importantly, that you're not giving up hope.
Don't give up hope, because we need you.
We need all of us.
We need all hands on deck.
To build that better future.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think it's time for me to
get out of here.
get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.